top of the morning to you. It's 10:30 on Monday the 24th of November 2025. I came through Banbridge Academy, got O levels and A levels, and then I progressed, if progressed is the right word. I progressed to Stranmillis College, where I gained a Bachelor of Education, which enabled me to teach in a primary or secondary school. And looking back on it, I am now of the opinion, and I was even back then, that an awful lot of what I supposedly learnt to get me through O levels and A levels was completely irrelevant to my success in tackling everyday life. My examinations were basically a ticket to get me into teaching, and there was so much unnecessary stuff in there, particularly with history and geography. You know, it's totally irrelevant. And today I am of the opinion that there are a number of different areas that need to be placed on our curriculum as basic information as how to navigate life. One of those would be learning about cars and how to maintain them. Every child that grows up to be an adult is going to be faced with a driving test at some stage, or at least most young people are, and young people want to learn to drive. And it's not just good enough to learn to drive, it's learning how to maintain that car and how to buy that car. These are all essentials. Are they taught in school to the majority of youngsters? No. Why would you do that? An essential in life, for facing life, for getting on with life. Why would you teach such an essential? The second thing that I would state is, or put onto the curriculum, is life-saving. We all come across accidents, wherever they are. They're on the roads, they're in the home, they're at the seaside. And life-saving skills is such a bonus for any young person or adult to have. Are they taught in our schools? No, don't think so. Maybe they'll get a wee class of half an hour where you duke over somebody else's shoulders to try and see what's going on. But there's no emphasis placed on this, you know. Essential, needs to be on the curriculum. There's so much nonsense on our curriculum, even in the present day. The third thing that I believe is an essential and is a basic component of our curriculum is this one here, and someone is really trying to grasp the nettle here and show educationalists the way forward. And it's, I came across this in Belfast Live this morning, and the title is NI Mortgage Broker Champions More Financial Literacy in Northern Ireland Classrooms. More financial literacy? I don't think there's really any. Got rid of myself there. And this is RM Financial Back to School Tour. And this is a guy called Rhys. I'll say his second name in a minute. And he goes into schools to discuss financial knowledge students can use when they leave school. Isn't this brilliant? Why aren't schools doing this as a matter of course? I'm a teacher, an old teacher, retired old teacher, and I wish somebody had given me this kind of advice. My father died whenever I was 10 and a half, so I had to learn things, basics about finances, savings, how to go about it. You know, I had to learn this basically all on my own. So what does the article say? A mortgage broker has taken financial education on the roads in Northern Ireland with one clear mission: to better inform young people about money issues. My goodness. You would think that in this day and age that this would be a given. The guy is called Rhys McAuley and he's 32, whose business RM Financial Consultants Limited is based in Ballyhackmore. It's not very far away from me. And he's passionate about making sure the next generation are clued up when it comes to money and their future. Clued up? The next generation haven't a clue. Well, that's whenever I talk to young people in schools, the school I taught at, I hadn't a notion, you know. What is it? What did we learn at school? What was important? In Latin? Wow. And what about trigonometry? Whoa, very useful in how to navigate your way through daily life. Now that was back then. I don't think they do trigonometry much today, but Latin? Anyway, I'll read on. Alongside his colleague Louise Kitchen, the pair travel from one school to another once a month to talk to 17 and 18-year-old students about becoming financially aware. This should really all be a given. Mr. McAuley said, "We are a mortgage advice business who has been running for 8 years. We have a wide range of clients, but a lot of them are first home buyers. We are there to help people with the process of buying a house, and many of them don't have a strong financial understanding of the situation, which many people declare when they meet us." What's one of the most important decisions that any young person will make? Certainly buying a car, but the next big one is buying a house, renting a flat. The decision was made to try to go into schools and tell students who are probably going to use this knowledge in the future at some financial information. We also put a video on social media about basic knowledge we think children should be taught in schools around financial education. While we are at school, we discuss things with the students such as what a mortgage is, how it works, while also telling them a little bit about banks and interest rates. We take the pupils through the process of buying a house and give them information about ISAs. This is beneficial because it helps them make better decisions that they're going to use in real life. This is what it's all about, folks. They want to deal with real life, not some imaginary life, that you find in an English literature book. And I'm not despising or decrying English literature, but my goodness, do we really need all the time spent on English literature and studying books from various authors around the world? This is basic life knowledge. I think one of the big things for us is to educate children at an age where they are already starting to be more financially aware through social media platforms such as TikTok. This knowledge will give them more options, such as if they start an ISA early, it will help them long term. There is no sign that it will become cheaper to buy a house anytime soon. So it will be a real help and encourage them to get onto the property ladder. What's one of the most important things to do for a young person or someone in their 20s? Get on the property ladder. You will not make money from any interest given from any bank. You will, if you buy a house, you will make money. You will. And this is one of the major ways how to better yourself. Even if they don't do this, if they sit down with a banker or a mortgage advisor, at some point they are going to be more comfortable because they'll have some idea of the process. Sit down with a banker. All our banks have closed. You can't get a chat with anybody from the bank. You can't even reach them on the phone. What has happened to our bank service? Consumer service? What a load of nonsense. That's gone out the window. Anyway, earlier this month, the Department of Education set out plans to make financial education compulsory in primary schools in England. Mr McAuley is keen for students in Northern Ireland to have more access to financial knowledge and believes there is a desire from young people to learn. Young people do want to learn this. You're not going to have any trouble keeping them in the seats or keeping them quiet. This is in their best interests. Well, certainly in the grammar schools and the upper strands of the secondary schools, you'll have a ready audience. There's definitely a desire for this from the students. The first time we went into a classroom, the session was completely voluntary, and 40 children gave up their lunchtime to come along. And this surprised me. They enjoyed it and found it interesting. They want to know how they can get started on their journey. As a business, we pride ourselves in helping young people, but we think that it is pertinent that people have an idea of where we are starting, or they are starting, so that they can make decisions that they're comfortable with and not have to have any financial education on this in school and not having any financial education on this in school seems counterproductive. Not only to me does it seem counterproductive, but it seems completely stupid and daft. Education is supposed to prepare you for life, and our young people are not being prepared for life. And it's a very, very quick changing world as well. Things are changing rapidly. The feedback from parents have been supportive, with one stating that the initiative was a great idea and more needed to be done to equip students at schools to receive better financial education. Mr McAuley said comments like this made it all worthwhile for him. Good for him. My goodness, one man amongst thousands coming out with such a worthwhile initiative. Mr McAuley added he is open to hearing from schools who want him to speak to students. He is also keen to speak to anyone with similar goals or to work with decision makers on how to add value around financial education in classrooms. Our educators should be falling over themselves to get in touch with this man. He's only stating the obvious. Department of Education, get the finger out. Our young people are being failed when this kind of information is not readily available and provided in our schools via the curriculum. Now, I'm not saying it isn't, but it's piecemeal. And if it is, available, only a small number of students are actually getting it.